about you, but no movie or TV show or game can make me as afraid as something horror related just on the internet can make me. Most of the time, it's because you didn't know what you were getting into. You just so happened to have stumbled upon a place online where you can never return. Most of my experiences have been on YouTube, but I have been tortured elsewhere as well. Let's be honest here. We've all found ourselves in a section of recommended YouTube videos where it is just one chaos video after the other, each one evoking some of the most eerie and sinister feelings that assures you get no rest for the following couple days. I know for a fact that almost everyone has stumbled upon this path that leads us to nowhere fun. I have many vivid memories as a child perusing YouTube and stumbling into some of the most disturbing sights my young eyes could ever witness. If you're new here and would like to support the channel, be sure to hit all those fun buttons down below and even check out some of the social links I have in the description for the Instagram and Letterboxd. Now let's carry on with some internet horror. We're going to be starting off with more of a reoccurring feature that some YouTube videos would bless us with way back in the early 2000s. I always just called them jump scare videos, but I had recently seen a lot of people using the term screamer, which I had never heard of before. These are my earliest memories of being haunted by the material on this website. I have a vivid memory of just trying to enjoy a video of Sweet Victory from SpongeBob, and then right at the end, a face from hell pops up on the screen with the loudest scream you could possibly imagine. It was Sweet Victory, so you know I had the volume all the way up. This now began a series of nightmares where just trying to go on YouTube became an active threat. I really don't understand why this style was a thing other than people getting a laugh out of torturing others. One that I am sure everyone recognizes is Ghost Car. This is actually a part of the first batch of YouTube videos to come out after the platform had launched in 2005. The video basically goes as follows. A scenic view with a car driving down a long hill, with honestly very relaxing music in the back until you get hit with a jump scare. This was a classic and had begun a trend on its own where people would show friends and family these videos to get a reaction. I don't know about you, but I would have some fighting words. For those who don't know, this was actually a commercial that aired in Germany for a caffeinated drink. I would never trust the television again if I had to be one of those people cursed with seeing it like that. Another video that I think is worse than most is the rocking chair video. This one just slowly has a rocking chair holding still, before beginning to go into a rock until, then unlike the rest, where it is just an image flashed on screen, it's actually a figure that sprint crawls towards the camera and yells. Goddamn, is that not the most soul-stealing event to ever have to go through? What's awful is that the scream is mostly always the same sound effect, so now it just causes Vietnam flashbacks. The same Exorcist face was used for a lot of these, cause last I checked the Scary Maze game had the same image used. See, the Scary Maze game wasn't just a YouTube video, but an actual Flash game that people could go and play. I put on my Brave Boy pants and clicked the link and saw that the original site is down, but I saw a lot of remakes, so the legend will never die. However, the game, from what I remember, consisted of 3 maze levels, and once you got near the end, the same Exorcist image pops up and, you guessed it, screams at decibels that'll make your ears bleed. I actually think this face being used so much kept me away from wanting to watch The Exorcist when I was younger. I was not about to watch a whole movie with that scary bastard. Just like Ghost Car, this spawned another wave of getting people's reactions to finishing the maze and getting to the jump scare. This guy right here is my favorite. In middle school, one of my bastard friends sent me a link to a video titled Dining Room or There Is Nothing, and from the first watch it immediately became a burned image that would constantly flash me in the dark. The video just has this really creepy looking lady sitting at the dinner table as she stares and speaks in what sounds like reverse. The camera pans out and her head falls into whatever she was eating, before the video loops backwards and she repeats her phrase, which says, "There is nothing." There is nothing, over and over again. I was never the same person again. I really don't know what it is about this that was so frightening, because when you take it at face value, nothing that scary is going on. It's really just the way this lady looks and sounds that is so haunting. My guess is that it's just the case of the uncanny valley, where this lady looks just slightly off that my brain knows that this lady has some evil intentions. This video actually ended up getting an explanation from its original creator, and honestly after hearing it, I grew to really respect it more than being super afraid of it. There's a link in the description that takes you to this website where he explains that when looped, there is no actual beginning or end, and no real sense of where the beginning and end actually are. This piece was inspired by a personal paradoxical desire for empirical proof that there was nothing on the other side of life. I wanted to blur the distinction between the two states and to state the paradox by showing someone who's coming back from life, or death, and denies its existence, thereby fulfilling the paradox. That idea is going to keep me up at night for a while. The video was already creepy enough, but to then have the added context of that this video is representing proof that there is nothing in the afterlife. Another Flash game that was cursed with having a jump scare was Where's Waldo? I only remember witnessing this as a third party, but this was my first ever memory of getting jump scared. For the longest time, I thought Where's Waldo was just that scary-ass game, considering it was my first exposure to the guy. However, from what I can find, it looks like this game starts out with the basic map of Where's Waldo with this loud circus music playing in the background before it cuts out and we are left with silence. Waldo isn't even in the crowd, so your searches are pointless because not long after is when you get met with, you guessed it, another face from The Exorcist popping out. It's a different face, but still the same movie. I don't know if I was one of the rare few, because a lot of people I knew just found it funny, but that Little Baby's ice cream commercial did not sit right with me when I first saw it. Not that much happens in this one, other than this guy covered in ice cream staring into your soul as he eats the ice cream off the top of his head. Is he just covered in ice cream, or is he an ice cream person? The narrator above tells us all about how much he likes this ice cream before cutting away to tell you that, yeah, this was an actual ad.
I eat Little Baby's ice cream. It keeps me young. It keeps me light on my feet.
I feel like I never saw ads like this before in the wild, only on YouTube. But anyways, this was a real ice cream place since 2011, but unfortunately the place shut down in 2019. I hope that scary ad isn't what scared them off. This one definitely freaked me out, but I wasn't petrified like I was with There Is Nothing. There was even a second advertisement in similar fashion, except this time it's an infinite loop of the ice cream person eating themselves over and over again until we get to the end, which, well...
Little Baby's ice cream.
This one gets me real good. This South Korean webcomic follows the story of a lady walking home from school, noting that the area she is in is oddly empty, and it begins to make her feel unnerved. Not long during her walk, she sees a woman standing ahead of her on the sidewalk with all of her limbs looking twisted. The next panel has the woman twist her head all the way around to look at us. Considering this was just a webcomic, you can understand how most people were not expecting the character to jump scare us like that. Trust me, it got me really bad the first time I saw it. However, it doesn't end there. The creepy woman immediately asks our main character where her baby is. She points as far as she can and tells her that that's where she can find her baby. The woman listens, and once she is out of sight, our main character goes to take off, but not for very long. The scary lady does not find the baby, and in the next panel she flies towards the screen in a second jump scare. This story is supposedly based on a true story where a woman jumps off her apartment balcony committing suicide after losing custody of her 2-year-old baby. Looks like none of us are getting sleep tonight, my friends. It's really interesting to see the changes in internet and YouTube horror over the years. You really don't see a lot of stuff like this anymore. I can't really think of videos being posted online and being rumored as actual curses anymore. Which I understand, but there was a thrill that came with watching these videos that seemingly had no explanation to their backstories. You have to hand it to these creators too for managing to be such an influence on the internet horror scene today. I would not be surprised if I have deep-rooted fears dating back to being jump scared or stumbling upon these horror comics as a young child with unsupervised internet access. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a like and subscribe as it really helps out, and let me know your internet horror experiences down below, and tell me which still haunts your dreams to this very day.